Quick question before we start. When you think, right now, is there a voice in your head saying these words back to you? Or is your mind completely silent, just thoughts, without sound? Most people assume everyone thinks the way they do, and when they find out that isn't true, it genuinely breaks their brain a little. Some people run a constant narrator in their head, full sentences, an actual voice, sometimes even different tones for different thoughts. Other people think in something closer to pure feeling, or pictures, or a kind of wordless knowing, with almost no verbal narration at all. Neither one is thinking wrong. They're just different operating systems running underneath the same hardware. Let's talk about inner monologue, or more specifically, the wild discovery that not everyone has one. Here's a story that keeps circulating online, and it's a good entry point into this. Two friends are talking, and one casually says something like, "When I think about what to say next, I literally hear myself saying it first." And the other friend stops and says, "Wait, that's not just a figure of speech? You actually hear words." Neither one is joking. Neither one is exaggerating. They've simply never had a reason to compare notes on what thinking actually feels like from the inside, because you can't see inside someone else's head. You just assume it works like yours does. Researchers actually have a term for having little to no inner speech. It's sometimes called anendophasia. It's not a disorder, it's not a deficiency, it's simply a different cognitive style, and it's far more common than most people realize. So what is inner speech actually doing functionally? This connects directly back to the metacognition video. Remember, metacognition is that second layer of thinking, the part of you that watches your own thoughts and checks them. For a lot of people, that checking process runs in words. You literally narrate your own reasoning. Wait, that doesn't add up. Okay, let me try this differently. That's inner speech doing metacognitive work in real time. But if you don't have that narrator, the checking still happens. It just happens differently. Some people describe it as a wordless sense of rightness or wrongness, a feeling that something clicks or doesn't without ever translating into sentences. Visual thinkers report seeing problems almost like a diagram they can rotate and inspect. There's a closely related phenomenon worth mentioning here too. Some people can vividly picture images in their mind, and some people can't visualize anything at all, a condition called aphantasia. Inner voice and mental imagery aren't the same thing, but they often get tangled together and both quietly shape how you think without you ever noticing. Here's a way to actually test this on yourself, based on a method researchers use called experience sampling. Throughout your day, at random moments, stop and ask, what was just happening in my mind right before I asked this question? Not what you think should have been happening. What was actually there? Words, images, just a feeling with nothing you could write down as a sentence? Do this 10 or 15 times over a few days, and you'll start to see your own default pattern much more clearly than you ever could just by assuming. Now, here's where this gets genuinely useful, beyond just being an interesting fact about your own mind. This difference explains a huge amount of miscommunication between people who are close to each other. Imagine a couple or two co-workers, where one person processes stress by talking it through, working through every angle in sentences. The other person processes the exact same stress silently through some other channel and only speaks once they've already landed somewhere. The talker assumes the quiet one is shutting them out. The quiet one assumes the talker is spiraling or overthinking. Neither one is wrong about their own process. They're just running different systems, and neither has ever stopped to explain that to the other. This is where metacognition and inner monologue actually intersect. Being aware that your own thinking style is a style, not the default setting for all humans, is itself a metacognitive skill. It's stepping back and asking, is this actually how everyone thinks, or is this just how I think? There's no better or worse version here, whatever your instinct might be telling you right now. Verbal thinkers often report an easier time with self-talk and rehearsing conversations in advance. Non-verbal, Image-based thinkers often report faster pattern recognition and less mental noise getting in the way of raw problem solving. Different tools, same underlying goal. So here's your actual challenge for today, the same kind of challenge we ended on last time. At some point today, catch yourself mid-thought and just notice. Was that words? Was that a picture? Was that just a feeling with no shape at all? You're not trying to change it. You're just trying to actually see it. Maybe for the first time. If the metacognition video got you thinking about how you think, this is the natural next question. Not just are your thoughts accurate, but what do your thoughts even look like underneath the surface? Let me know down in the comments which one you are. Constant narrator, silent thinker, or something in between. I have a feeling the answers are going to be a lot more varied than anyone expects. This has been Etho Region. Stay curious about your own mind.